everybody. My name is Duncan Hensley, and I am the chair of the Research Challenge here with CFA Society of Atlanta. I think we have a couple folks joining us, so we'll give it another minute, but excited to get things started off with everybody today, and nice to see a bunch of bright and shiny faces here on this Tuesday afternoon. Perfect. Well, we'll get started here, and as folks will join, we can, they'll be admitted. And the nice part about this is, as you guys heard when you first entered, this is being recorded, so you'll be able to watch on replay after the fact. So, if you would like to listen, or one of your team members wasn't able to join, you're able to share this with the team. So, like I mentioned, for those that weren't here, my name is Duncan Hensley. I am the chair of the Research Challenge here for the CFA Society of Atlanta. So excited to be doing this with all of you again. If you are a returner or have worked with us before, excited to see your face again. If you are new, we are excited to see you, and looking forward to another great year of the Southern Classic Research Challenge. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here for a few minutes. Perfect. And you guys should be able to see the Let's All Strive for Greatness title page. So if anybody can't see it, let me know. And if not, we'll go ahead and get started. Perfect. Well, as I said, my name is Duncan Hensley. I am the chair of the Research Challenge here for the CFA Society of Atlanta. For those that don't know, the Southern Classic Research Challenge is actually hosted not only by us within the Atlanta Society, but in conjunction with our partner societies in Alabama and South Carolina. So today I'm joined on the call by David Riley, who's the Vice President of Education for the CFA Society of Atlanta, as well as Kathy Ford, our Executive Director, as well as a number of other individuals within the societies of Alabama and South Carolina. Specifically, Ivan Truss, the president of the CFA Society of Alabama, and then Bobby Killens, the Research Challenge chair for the CFA Society of South Carolina. So I think I see a couple folks from all three of our member societies. So excited to have everybody back, and looking forward to working with everybody on this year's competition. So we will go here into, and before we'll get formally started, would like to thank our sponsors for their continued support year over year. BlackRock, Voya Investment Management, Invesco, as well as the CFA Institute up in Charlottesville. We would not be able to put on this competition every year without their support. So we thank them and look forward to seeing some of their representatives at the live event here in February. So for those that aren't familiar, what is the CFA Institute Research Challenge? It's a worldwide competition that starts at the local level where we're at today, and provides you all a unique opportunity to learn, to practice your skills you're practicing in the classroom in a real world setting. We'll find out here later this presentation who the subject company is, but you'll be putting together a report on a buy, sell, or hold rating for that local subject company. Like I said, it starts at the society level. So, like I said, ours is here in the south, in the three in the southeast, but then goes to a sub-regional, regional, and then ultimately international competition, where you will be competing with universities from around the world, and we'll kind of touch on that here in a few minutes. But I think it's a cool opportunity not only to practice what you are seeing in the classroom, but also compete not only with your fellow SEC, ACC, and the like, but some of your international competition as well. So how does it work? Like we said, it starts here with the CFA Societies of Atlanta, Alabama, and South Carolina, and it's members of 3 to 5 teams for each of these universities. Now, if you have multiple, we've had it previously where there's been multiple teams from different universities or from the same university. We just ask that the maximum for any individual team is up to 5 members. You will work directly with a mentor from or faculty member from your university, and we'll also provide industry mentors that work across the different societies to help provide support to give you guidance on working to put together your proposal. Once we get through that you guys all putting together your reports, we'll have a group of volunteers from across the region evaluate those papers, and then the top 5 of those papers will then move on to the live challenge that we will have at the end of February. The winner of that live challenge will then move on to the sub-regional competitions and then regional competitions as well, and we'll dive into that here in a few minutes. Now, what are the benefits? Obviously, like I mentioned, you guys get the opportunity to apply what you're learning in the classroom into the real world scenarios, a real world scenario that you would as if you were working on a rating that you would give to in a real world job scenario. But the nice part is that you're doing it in a relative safe space, right? There's no real dollars on the line from whether you're issuing a buy, sell, or hold rating, but you're going to get that guidance and that teaching not only from your faculty members that you're working with, but also folks that are doing this on a the day-to-day job. So I think that's a cool opportunity that you guys will have to lean on, industry practitioners and help build out your network that way. Obviously, as part of this, if you participate, you'll be put into our CFA Society of Atlanta, Alabama, and South Carolina resume book. So practitioners that may or may not be able to attend either the live competition or the CFA Research Challenge process, they'll be able to have access to your resumes after the fact, and be able to potentially position yourselves for internships and full-time offers down the line. As I mentioned, the mentoring piece, and then you're able to network. There's obviously the applicable part of learning that you do in college, but that network it's a very tight knit finance community that we work with across Alabama, Atlanta, and South Carolina. So being able to develop relationships early on in your scholastic and then eventually professional careers is invaluable. And then one point that's not touched on here is obviously there is a cash prize for the team that would be victorious. So you have to keep that part in mind as well. And like I mentioned, the cool part about this is it's not just you're competing against the next Georgia, Alabama, and South Carolina. You're competing both nationally and internationally. So whether you guys know it or not, you're competing against folks in Australia, China, India, across the European mainland, and Africa as well. So a very cool opportunity that you guys don't realize. You are starting that competition now, and eventually that will crescendo at the international finals at the later in 2026. So like I mentioned, it is an international competition, but what does that realistically look like? And here are some good dollars and cents from a numbers perspective of, the number of folks that participated, as well as, where those competitions were held. So over 7,000 participants last year from a student perspective, from 1,100 universities across the world, inclusive of 120 different local challenges. So like I said, it starts at this local level and then builds all the way up to the international level. What did those results look like? Like I said, 120 different local challenges came all the way to 6 regional champions. Appalachian State University up in North Carolina was the Americas representative. We had the University of Waterloo, the University of Sydney, the University of Hong Kong, University of Nectal, and then last but not least, the eventual 2025 global champions, Kosminski University, representing the CFA Society of Poland. So, like I said, if you guys don't realize it or not, you're competing against some of the best and bred students from not only across the region, but across the nation, the globe. So a cool opportunity to put those challenges to the test. And like we broke it down, we start at the local level and then you move through the sub-regional competition. So as I mentioned, the research challenge falls into the southeastern U.S. So upon winning the Southern Classic Research Challenge, you'd advance to the Americas subregion and then ultimately up through the national and then international competition. And we'll include those dates are available here at the end of the presentation. So, like I said, what those dates look like. Obviously, the regional semifinals will then happen March 31st through April 1st. The regional finals happening the 2nd and 3rd of April 2026, and then the global final, which excitingly Kathy shared with me earlier this morning, will be hosted in Hong Kong. The global final will be in May 2026. So, as we have additional dates for that will be made available. But a cool opportunity for students to travel internationally and, like I said, compete on that global scale. So what does the competition timeline look like? Obviously, we're having the kickoff here today via Zoom. Over the next 10 days, you'll have the opportunity to complete some preliminary research on your side for the ultimate subject company that you'll be seeing here momentarily. You'll need to register with the CFA Institute online by November 2nd, 2025. So please make sure that you do that so that you're able to, so that the teams are able to register properly. And then on November 18th, we'll actually have a live call, both in a very similar setup here on Zoom with the subject company. So come armed with questions for that subject company, as that will be the lone opportunity you'll have to interact with the subject company prior to the live competition finals. Over that period, you'll have the opportunity up until January 25th to put together your final report that you'll submit online. A point that we've seen teams that continually do well is they do a lot of the heavy lifting before you guys go off to holiday break. As you know, that's going to be some time where you get able to kick back and relax and enjoy some merriment with friends and family. So sometimes it's tough to come back to school and finish that up. So a lot of the heavy lifting that you can do that in between that the company presentation and then that holiday time, that will put you in a position to be successful. Once we receive those final reports, we'll have them anonymously graded by those teams, and then we'll share the 5 teams that will be making it to the live local final presentations on February 28th. Like I said then we'll have that Southeastern U.S. sub-regional final on March 31st through the 1st, the regional final, and the global final. So like I said, all these dates made available here, and you'll be able to pull these up after the fact. Some touching on some key rules just to keep in mind. Like I mentioned, each team will consist of 3 to 5 students, undergraduate or graduate students. Like I said, in the case that you have more than that, you're more than welcome to create multiple teams for individual universities. But we ask that the individual teams do not exceed more than 5. Obviously, you must be enrolled at the university upon completion of the competition, and the reports and presentations must be the students' your individual work. Obviously, you have the ability to leverage, ChatGPT, LLMs, and the like, but it still is imperative that this information is the work of you guys as the students. You may not contact the subject company outside of organized events that that we will put on. Like I said, you'll have the opportunity to ask live questions to the subject company, and you are not allowed to enlist the help of any other professionals outside of your faculty member, as well as the industry mentor that we share with you. The same rules apply for the faculty members and mentors. You're not allowed to contact. They are not allowed to contact the company, and mentors, faculty, and the subject company may not provide any material non-public information. And as with everything with the CFA Society, with the CFA Institute, you are held to the CFA Code of Ethics and Standards of Professional Conduct, whether or not you are a sitting candidate or not. And obviously, that could have eventual impacts on your participation through through obtaining the CFA charter if you were to violate those Code of Ethics and Standards of Professional Conduct. As I mentioned, you'll have the assistance of both faculty advisors and industry mentors. Faculty advisors are obviously the teachers that you guys are working with on a daily basis today. You'll have 10 hours maximum of productive time with those advisors, and obviously you'll have ability to contact them outside of the research challenge. But as you are working on the research challenge, it's just a maximum of 10 hours with that individual faculty advisor. Like I mentioned, industry mentors, we will assign those from our side. Ideally, we'll hopefully have folks from your individual universities that are able to participate. But if not, we strive to have folks from the individual CFA, from the appropriate local society be mentors, if at all possible. You have a maximum of 6 hours of productive time with that individual, and that may be face-to-face or virtual, depending on how schedules align. you're able to work with the industry mentor on asking questions for the management team of the subject company. Obviously, reviewing the draft of your research report, and then eventually, if you make it to that live competition, the final live competition would be an actual report rather than a written draft, a written report. So you can leverage them for that as well. So as I mentioned, the initial submission that you all will make will be a report on issuing a buy, sell, or hold rating for the subject company. This is an example of a previous submission from the University of Waterloo, who's has found success over multiple years. Previous winners are published online, so as you choose, you're able to go in and look at how that university put their paper together and leverage that as appropriate. So don't hesitate to leverage those sample reports. Now, how are the actual written reports graded? Obviously, you can see the different sections here, starting with business description, industry overview, and competitive positioning, investment summary, valuations, financial analysis, investment risks, and then finally, environmental, social, and governance evaluation. As I mentioned, you'll submit this paper and it will be blindly graded by a number of different graders. They'll provide their scoring as well as their comments, which will be made available to you guys, whether you advance to the live competition or not. So don't fret that you won't get that information. So that will be made available to you. As I mentioned, assuming that you advance past the written portion, you'll then make a presentation, leveraging the information from your report and putting that together, like I said, into a presentation that will be made in front of 3 judges live at the end of February. Once again, sample presentations for previous winners is made available online, so you guys are able to leverage those as well. Like presentation scoring, very similar to the bones that you would have from your written report. Financial analysis, valuation, environmental and social and governance being the heavy lifting from a content perspective, but as well as presentation, question and answer, and team involvement. So obviously the hard skills will always be very important, but those soft skills as well, how you guys are working to the team, how you present yourself, will be evaluated as well and hold weight. This is the rubric breakdown that you guys will see here. Once again, whether or not you win or advance past the Southern Research Challenge, the feedback and the notes will be made available to you, so you'll be able to kind of see how you performed, where you found success, and then obviously some opportunities for growth beyond that after the fact. So without further ado, we'll now unveil who the subject company will be for the 2025-2026 Southern Classic Research Challenge. So I'm going to take a sip of water here. Invesco will be our subject company for the 2026 Research Challenge. Now, whether you're familiar with Invesco or not, we'll include some information here to start. Listed on the New York Stock Exchange under the ticker IVZ. Invesco is an independent investment management company based here in Atlanta, built to help individual investors, financial professionals, and institutions achieve their financial goals. A couple of highlights just for background. There's over 8,000 employees based around the world. In 2024, they had revenues over $6 billion and a market cap of $10.2 billion. As I mentioned, you all will have the opportunity to interact with the investor relations team of Invesco on Tuesday, November 18th at 3 p.m. There will be a Zoom call and slides, so very similar to this call where you'll be able to attend and ask live questions of the company. That will be your one opportunity to interact with the company live and in Technicolor. Following that investors relations team call, you will be able to share a question that will filter through that we will collect as a team, and then as a Southern Classic Research Challenge team, and then we'll put that up to the investor relations team, and then share that feedback with you all. And there you can find some additional information for the team on Invesco, whether that be the SEC filings, and the Invesco corporate website, as well as investor relations website. And then there will also be sell-side research available via our partner Refinitiv. So interacting with Invesco, I think I mentioned it a few times already. There'll only be designated officers that you'll be able to interact with, and it'll be organized communications only. The industry mentor or faculty advisor must be present for those interactions. So for that call, they'll be in attendance for that. And you obviously make contacts, vendors, suppliers, the like. We just ask that you do not contact Invesco directly for the presentation. And like I said, we'll have the opportunity to interact directly with them, and then if you have any questions after the fact, you'll be able to we'll collect those and share that with the team as well. So, are you guys up for the challenge? Like I said, the first step will be registering with the CFA Institute at this attached URL, and that will include information there on who they're, where you on previous presentations and recordings for you all to leverage. You'll be able to, register for the competition there and start to build out that initial level of research in addition to doing some research on Invesco themselves. And as I mentioned, if you do not create an account with the CFA Institute to register for the challenge, we will not be able to see you guys on there. So ask that first step as a team, go ahead and register on the CFA Institute website as soon as possible. So the opportunity starts here, guys. You have the opportunity not only to work with amongst your teammates, and then position yourselves for working with not only the faculty members, the industry mentors, but then developing that network within the Southern region, and then competing globally. So this is always one of my favorite competitions that we do every year, because it's great to see the presentations that you guys issue and put together. And whether it's a buy, sell, or hold, we always look forward to seeing what those ratings are. So without further ado, we will go into, and that video won't load, unfortunately, but obviously we have a QR code here for you guys to scan if you have any additional questions initially off the jump here. But as we have a few minutes here before the bottom of the hour, I will stop sharing my screen and we will open up the floor to answer any questions that you guys may have. So opening the floor now. Go ahead and unmute yourself. You can share your name, your university, and then your questions. That'd be great. Stunned silence. I promise there are no silly questions to ask. Yes, Dr. J, I see a hand raised there. Do you have a question?
Excellent. Uh, First time. So I've been involved as a judge actually in the past with the DC Society up in Washington, DC. So now I'm a faculty at Georgia State, and I'm
Great.
happy to take part in this first time as a faculty sponsor. I'm curious how many teams are going to be just in this Southern Classic from how many schools? And hello
Yeah.
to
So
everybody. Nice to meet you all.
yeah, well, we're excited to have Georgia State here. It just depends on the number of folks that register. Last year, I want to say we had 13 teams participate, which had been, the highest number that we had in a number of years. And I think that only included one university that had two teams participate, if I remember correctly. So don't hold me to that. But ideally, we'd love to see, at least those 10. That way, we have the most fruitful competition. But obviously, it depends on student interest. But we've seen a lot of an uptick over the last coming out of COVID of folks participating. So anticipate probably in that 10 to 15 range, and obviously strewn throughout Georgia, Alabama, and South Carolina. That's great.
I have a question.
Yes.
Hi, I'm Cameron Lemons. I'm a senior business finance manager at Clark Atlanta University. My question is, I know that our faculty advisors can only have a maximum of 10 hours, but they're required to be with us for the investors call with Invesco. Does that count toward their hours?
Great question. It does not.
Okay, thank you so much.
No problem. Any other questions? Well, if we have no more questions, we will go ahead and pack up for this afternoon. As I mentioned at the beginning of the call, if you joined late or if you had anybody that wasn't able to join, this will be recorded. And so look out for an email from Kathy Ford this afternoon or this evening with some of the information as well as the recording so you guys can access that. In the meantime, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. Like I said, there's no question, big or small. We're happy to answer it because we're looking forward to seeing that participation everywhere across the region. So happy to be a partner for you guys and helping you usher through whether you've done this the first time or you are a seasoned veteran. Happy to answer any questions that you may have. And if not, we will let you guys go. Have a great rest of your Tuesday.
Thanks so much. And David Duncan and Jeremy Bender, if we could stay behind, I'd appreciate it. Thanks, everybody. Have a great
Thank you,
afternoon.
guys.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
That's fast.
Good job, Duncan.
Thank you, sir.
Very good. A second, guys. I'm just pulling this. It's not real cool.
There you go. Hey, Ivan, good to see you, sir.
I'm gonna let Ivan go. That's his assistant, and this is ethics challenge we're gonna talk about.
Yep, that's fine.
Yeah, groovy. Okay, gentlemen. Hey, I just wanted to touch base on Friday.
Yes.
To make sure we're all set with everybody. We've got Jeremy and let's see who else we have. I've got to go look. Sorry. Got Jeremy. I know we've got Hunter. And I think Jocelyn as our judges. Is that right?
Yes. Oh, wait.
Cool.
Yes.
Got to get to that sheet, guys. I've got research challenge hat on. I've been wearing multiple hats. I'm putting on and taking off hats constantly. Let's see.
All good.
But we are set. I will be sending an email out. I just wanted to make sure, really, if you had any questions for me, we have the deadline for the presentations to be submitted tomorrow.
Great.
So we'll know then, if we have any fluctuation on this agenda that I just popped into the chat. I plan to be on site at 11 a.m. We'll kick things off. And again, this is on the website. And of course, I've communicated with each individual team with a reminder on their due date for their report. But again, if we have any drop in our 5 teams, I'll let you know. And all it's going to do is end the day early. We'll maintain, obviously, the start time. That's pretty much it. And we do note that it could fluctuate. We've got, of course, lunch ordered. So the first 30 minutes, we'll do just registration and lunch. We did open it up, as we always do, for spectators and audience members, but we did ask that Emory have those folks go through the registration process just so we had an idea about attendance. So we've got about 20, looks like, spectators there. So we should have 40, 50 people with us on Friday. I've got the challenge cup, I've got the check, I've got the permanent big blue marker. And we also have our videographer set to record. So he'll also capture some live stills for us just in case I'm not there. But of course, we'd love to get a couple of our winning team. And other than that, gentlemen, that's pretty much it.
I sent out the rubric for the judges. Do we need to just print? I can't remember if those were provided or if we just need to print them ourselves to bring.
No, I'll be bringing them, Jeremy. Thank you. And thank you for getting that to us. Really appreciate that, ahead of schedule. So appreciate it. So I'll be bringing that, and I'll bring other printed materials for you, like the rules and things that you might need to reference during the presentations or judging portion. So really appreciate, again, your willingness
Sign.
to. Sir,
A
what'd you say?
1-minute sign.
A 1-minute sign. Yeah, I've got my 1-minute sign. And we need to remember, it is 10 minutes presentation, 10-minute deliberation if we
Yep.
need it. Of course, we'll keep things moving along if you don't need that time. Did anybody volunteer for our timekeeper, or Duncan, or
That's me.
David? One of
I
you?
can
Okay,
do I can
great.
do that. Yep.
Okay,
I'll be,
wonderful.
I mean, I might not be there, or I will be leaving the office at 11, so I'll be there at 11:30. So, I
Yeah,
mean,
perfect.
I believe that
problem.
Randall's gonna be there too.
Is he great?
Yeah.
Be good to see him. He's
Mhm.
been busy with other things.
Yes. Well, he'll be with us tomorrow as well.
Oh,
yes.
good. Yeah, at Georgia State.
Mhm.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, we packed all those meetings in.
Yeah.
That's great.
Mhm.
Very, very good. Well, wonderful, gentlemen. And if you don't have any questions, I'm good. I just want to make sure you're all good. So I'll expect to see y'all there by, I say, like 11:30 if possible. And
Yep.
Of course, I'll include Hunter and Jocelyn on our prep. I'll be sending you the directions, etc. Everything.
Perfect.
We are in a different room this year.
Okay.
Room 400, and it's their finance lab. They've moved us
Oh, nice.
upstairs.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it should be a fun experience to be there.
Still in that same building though?
Mhm.
It is the same
Okay.
building. I think we've been on the second floor though, just that entry point, which you do enter on the second floor. So there's elevators and there's stairs, and then it's just
Okay.
suite 400 or room 400 for the finance lab. And again, I'll give you that information within my email.
Perfect.
Perfect.
Okay, and then we'll get going. I sent our recurring call email earlier for Research Challenge. We're just going to do a monthly call right now. If we
Right.
feel like we need to meet more often, I think we'll be good. And of course, appreciate Jeremy coming on, and
Yeah.
Duncan and I talked about just bringing Jocelyn in a little bit closer to kind of sidecar this process as much as she's available, because that's who we're looking to take this on for 2027 for Research Challenge. Okay.
Perfect.
Cool.
All right.
Wonderful.
Alrighty.
I think we're good.
All right. I will see you
Appreciate
gentlemen tomorrow
everything.
evening.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we'll see y'all
good.
tomorrow evening.
Yep.
Good luck. Thanks so
right.
much for all you
Yep.
do, and appreciate you making the trip over to GSU.
Thanks,
All
Kathy.
right.
See you Friday,
See you guys.
gentlemen. Thanks so much.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, bye.